Welcome back, all FOXY Games UK new and existing subscribers. It is a bitterly cold and dank Wednesday, December 4 here in the UK. Now come 4 PM and it feels like the dark ages on this side of the pond as we watch those utility bills skyrocket. Not to mention US President Donald J. Trump is in London for the NATO summit. Politics, politricks. But what's new in video games? Hi, I'm Fox, your reliable source of aggregated video game news, speculation and rampant rumour. News source links available in video description when and where applicable. So yeah, I guess you could say that Twitter PlayStation HQ, the hashtag, turned out to be nothing more than hypersmoke. Sony Interactive Entertainment's PlayStation 25th year anniversary celebrations continue, but has so far failed to reveal anything new at the PlayStation Awards 2019 event. Sony themselves did not overhype it, but it must be said the event did exactly what it was intended to do. Hashtag the PlayStation Awards 2019. Besides the awesome live band playing memorable game-themed tunes, the entire show was like an early 90s event, a plodding, slightly underwhelming, typically stuffy corporate affair. The hour-plus long event aired live at 8 AM UK time, and since nothing new was announced, I'm certainly glad I did not take half a day off work to watch, but I surfed through it hours later. Though it must be said a major theme of the show was PlayStation games of the past, including PlayStation 1, 2, 3, PSP, PlayStation Vita, PS4, PlayStation VR, and a very minor PS5 tease. Still, Sony Interactive Entertainment say it's a week-long celebration, so perhaps there's something yet to come. At this point, who can really say, right? Except those so-called self-proclaimed PlayStation insiders maybe, perhaps, actually, definitely should not present baseless, barrel-scraping speculation as hype in order to build up the awesome PlayStation community, ultimately only to disappoint them. Hashtag PlayStation HQ. A little messy, a little untidy, a little untidux. Though it's probably unfair to specifically levy blame at his PlayStation feat, since he didn't exactly ascribe the hashtag he seemingly started to the actual PlayStation Awards event per se, though it somehow managed to overhype the event anyway. Still, it was a rare treat seeing the father of PlayStation, Mr. Ken Kutaragi, looking very much the same as he did all those PlayStation 3 years ago. Anyway, I guess I've said all that needs to be said about that. Let's get into the main news of today's video. Reports have flooded in regarding game consoles and software Black Friday sales, and the Xbox family of consoles were the best-selling machines over the very lucrative Black Friday sales in the UK. Microsoft's consoles were heavily discounted during the sales period, with the Xbox One SAD edition, that's the Xbox All Digital Edition, cut to as low as £110 UK in some supermarkets and around £129 through other key retailers. The Xbox One SAD edition was bundled with digital versions of Sea of Thieves, Minecraft and Fortnite, which is why all those games charted so well in software charts recently. More than 100,000 Xbox One machines were sold last week according to retailers, which is just slightly behind what the console managed during Black Friday 2018. The all-digital version was the most successful edition of them all, not surprising at such an attractively low price. Xbox One narrowly beat Nintendo Switch by just a handful of consoles, quite literally. Nintendo's machine also featured some big discounts during Black Friday, with the new Lite version down to £179 UK. Also did some bundling around products such as Nintendo Labo, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the Neon Switch with the longer battery life was the biggest selling version of the system. Nintendo sold more Switch consoles during this Black Friday than it managed over the same period in 2018. Now, in terms of revenue, Nintendo Switch was actually the #1 selling console due to the higher price of the machine compared to Xbox One. This positions Sony's PS4 into third place during Black Friday sales. Sony's machine sold over 60,000 units last week, with the FIFA 20 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare bundles proving to be the most popular. Although there were offers around PlayStation just last week, they were not as aggressive as Microsoft's deals, and one could argue they really didn't need to be given the ridiculously significant lead PS4 holds over Xbox One sales. Overall, for the year, sales of PS4 and Xbox One are considerably down during 2019 versus 2018, to be expected as the current generation winds down. Xbox One sales reportedly down 35% year to date. The PS4 is down 45% 5% year to date, and Nintendo Switch as the newer product is trending more than 13% increase year to date, although some other current estimates claim PS4 sold over 1 million units throughout November in the US, Xbox One sold below 1 million units, and Nintendo Switch was the best-selling console throughout November. However, November, and albeit an extremely profitable month of the year, it has to be said, the bigger picture centers around what Sony Interactive Entertainment has achieved as a platform holder, and it makes for some astonishing results for the company. PlayStation has officially become the best-selling home video console brand of all time, and now they hold a Guinness World Record to prove it. Sony has announced the PlayStation is now the best-selling home video console ever, having sold over 450 million units combined, including PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 as of November 7, 2019. Here's a quote from the official PlayStation Twitter account. "We're thrilled to be certified as the best-selling home video game console brand ever, with over 450 million units sold across the original PlayStation, PS2, PS3, and PS4 as of November 7, according to the Guinness World Records, and it's all thanks to you." So that's a pretty big deal. Congratulations to Sony Interactive Entertainment, but obviously much of the credit goes to the PlayStation community, as intimated by PlayStation Global CEO and President Jim Ryan. Good stuff. Bizarrely, one of PlayStation's most highly regarded first-party development studios didn't even show up, and yeah, sure, I get it. That is probably crunch time over at Naughty Dog as they polish up The Last of Us Part 2, but couldn't they spare just one key staffer to collect the award given the gravitas and significance of this event? Another notable absentee, newly promoted head of Sony Worldwide Studios and ex-Guerrilla Games boss Herman Hulse. Instead, we see his predecessor, the former Worldwide Studios boss Shuhei Yoshida, positioned at the end of the event's photo session as if he were a bookend. I found that quite odd. In other PlayStation news, we move on to the very near future, the up-and-coming next-generation PlayStation, the PlayStation 5, and all the excitement surrounding it. Sourced via SpillTimes.com, here's the full story. With just a month away from 2020, the hype around PS5 is at fever pitch levels, while many of us are waiting eagerly to attack the pre-order button the moment it goes live in the hopes of securing the first batch of PS5 units. Multiple retailers across a number of regions have started taking sign-ups for getting notified as soon as pre-orders for PS5 begin. If you want to be among the first to pre-order the console, you might want to sign up to get notified in time. Regions and retailers accepting sign-ups today are as follows: Best Buy in the US, Game in the UK, Dustin Home in Norway, EU, and Game Mania/Nedgame in the Netherlands, Europe. Interestingly, PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan couldn't resist teasing PlayStation 5 reveals in Japan during the company's 25th anniversary celebrations, TwoInfinite.com has reported. Sony Interactive Entertainment celebrated the developers who released the most successful PlayStation games, but there was other notable moments. During the PlayStation Awards ceremony at the traditional Grand Prince Hotel New Tanakawa venue in Tokyo, the recently elected global CEO and President Jim Ryan held his first speech, and in Japanese. This happened just 2 years after the previous CEO, John Kadira, introduced himself on stage following Andrew House's departure from the company. He also thanked game developers and partners for their hard work and contribution to the success of PlayStation, mentioning the awarding of the Guinness World Record as best-selling home console brand ever. Lastly, he mentioned PS4 passing 100 million units shipped, and he teased the coming of PlayStation 5, adding that starting next year, we'll hear much more about it. So, will you be jumping all over the pre-orders as soon as they go live so that you can be one of PS5's earliest adopters? Share your thoughts in the comments. Very exciting stuff, I'm sure most would agree. Though, sorry in advance if the following news breaks that PlayStation bubble. This news isn't great for a lot of people. Sourced via VideoGamesChronicle.com. So it looks like PlayStation has no plans to follow up PlayStation Vita with a successor. Sony reiterates we're no longer in the handheld business. Oh, now that's taken the wind out of the sails. Here's the full story. PlayStation has reiterated that it has no intention of creating another handheld gaming console for market, such as a successor to PlayStation Vita, in the near future. Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan told Game Informer in its latest issue, here's a quote, "PlayStation Vita was brilliant in many ways and the actual gaming experience was great, but clearly it's a business that we're no longer in now." That's unfortunate. Now, PlayStation Vita officially ceased production in 2019, 8 years after its 2011 release in Japan. Despite favourable hardware reviews and a number of high-profile releases, including Uncharted and God of War titles, PlayStation Vita sales never really took off. According to US Gamer, the handheld's final sales sit around 16 million units, which is significantly less than the reported 80 million sales of its predecessor, PSP. A third of Vita sales came from Japan. Almost a third of the PlayStation Vita sales in Japan because of the system continued to produce viable software in recent years. PlayStation Vita owners were said to be highly engaged players, with the system enjoying a super high attach rate of software sales. Sony Interactive Entertainment attempted to reinvent the device in latter years, introducing PS4 Remote Play and other connectivity functions, as well as the cheaper PCH 2000 version and reports of a prototype companion device designed with PS5 in mind. Looks like Sony Interactive Entertainment have put portability on the back burner for now. I did warn FOXY Games UK subscribers leaked patents and R&D projects don't necessarily make it to market, and that's what it looks like here. I know a lot of people were looking forward to a possible PlayStation Portable for PS5, but it looks like Jim Ryan has other plans. But on a more lighter note, following the Resident Evil 2 remake release, seems Capcom are prepping a Resident Evil 3 remake if covers leaked online are any indication, which they are. Reported by numerous outlets, though for this video we sourced via dsogaming.com. So the announcement for Resident Evil 3 Remake is almost upon us. GameStat, which tracks everything that's added on PlayStation Network, has unveiled the first covers for the European/American and Japanese versions of Resident Evil 3 Remake. In short, these covers directly came from the official PlayStation Network pages of Resident Evil 3 Remake, with Capcom expected to announce Resident Evil 3, the remake, at the Video Game Awards in December. With Capcom expected to announce Resident Evil 3 Remake at the Video Game 2019 Awards. A couple of days ago, Capcom teased RE3 Remake via a franchise Steam sale picture. Now, while this was an old poster for the entire RE franchise, Capcom could have easily used another one. Earlier this month, there was a rumor suggesting that Resident Evil 3 Remake was indeed under development. And as I say, RE3 Remake is strongly tipped to make its debut reveal when the Video Game Awards 2019 event airs live December 13, so stay tuned. And regarding all of today's news items, particularly the disappointing news regarding a future PSP device or companion, whatever, Black Friday sales result, and everything PS5, what say you? Go ahead, sound off, share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of yet another video. But let's continue the discussion cordially in the comments. For all your current and next-gen news updates, rumour and rampant speculation, why not hit the like button, spread the word, and keep it locked to FOXY Games UK. Remember, relevant links where applicable can be found in the video description. Subscribe to FOXY Games UK. Remember, hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you like it here. Help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video, and consider supporting FOXY Games UK via Patreon and grab yourself a FOXY Games UK branded t-shirt or hoodie available in various colours and designs. You'll find both links in the video description. I truly appreciate the support. And that concludes our time together today. Certainly great hanging out as usual. Until the next video, remember, play games, not corporations.